So this is my wallet, and in here I keep some cash and a fishing license. But one other thing I love to keep in this wallet is a little notebook. So I'm going to be making a mini wallet notebook so I can take notes and stuff. So for this project you will need a guillotine, a piece of thick card, and some paper with lines. And the final thing we'll need is a sewing machine. Here's my fishing license, and I'm going to use this to get the size for the notebook. So what I've done here is I've put the card down and then traced around the top part like that, and then lined up my ruler with those lines, and then I made it double the length on both sides. And to make sure that it's not tapering down or anything, I measured the top across. That's 5.5. And then I measured the bottom, also 5.5. So that's perfect. Now I just need to make sure that it's double, about there. So that's the full length. Now I've got to cut that shape out with the guillotine, and then we'll cut these out as well. There we are. This should be 2 lengths of this. And the next step will be to do the same with all these. But rather than making the shape and then cutting them out, I'm just gonna do this, put it on top, and cut around it. That should speed things up. And I'm gonna do all of them at once. So if I do all these 3 pieces at once, they'll all be the exact same and 3 times the speed. Just put some tape around the edge to hold it as one piece, and now I'll cut it out. Done. So these pieces I got from a notebook, and in the middle of the notebook where it was stitched together, it was like that. I pulled them out, which means there's actually 6 pieces. Which means when I fold them over, there's 12 pages and a cover. Here's what we're going to use the sewing machine for. Once we've folded our book in half, like this, we'll open it up to the middle, which is just here, and then we're going to sew along that crease. And this will make it a working notebook. But I want to actually do it slightly differently. Rather than sewing it, I'm going to punch holes with one of these and then stitch it with this thick leather working thread. So I've got to make sure it's all lined up correctly. Okay, I think it's a good idea to use a sewing machine, because punching it with the big punches left this kind of ugly bit at the top, and it doesn't look that great. So I think the sewing machine is the way to go, but you can see how it's like pushed all the paper aside and made it look pretty bad. So if you plan on making this, use a sewing machine. Oh no, check that out. Just then it ripped. Well, I guess I'll try and make another one. Okay, I just fixed it. This time I used the sewing machine. It looks a lot better than my previous attempt, and the sewing machine handled it easily. So I learned something pretty important. If you're making things like this, don't put big holes in the paper. So that's how you make a wallet notebook. If you plan on making this, use a sewing machine. Don't use leather working stuff. It won't go well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.